All right, settle down, settle down. Or actually, don't. Because today, we're flipping the script on tradition. We're taking the quiet dignity of Saudi family life and turning it up to 11. Imagine a world where seen and not heard is a quaint, forgotten whisper. A world where the Loudest family isn't just tolerated, but celebrated. We're talking about the introduction of the Loudest family competition, a boisterous, brand new tradition designed to shake up the social fabric. This isn't just about noise, it's about examining cultural values through a megaphone. It's a thought experiment, a social satire, and frankly, a potential headache. The outcomes? Pure, unadulterated humor, and probably a few neighborhood disputes, but mostly humor, we hope. So when would this glorious cacophony unfold? Naturally, during Eid celebrations or national holidays, because nothing says festive like 1,000 decibels of family pride. This wouldn't be a mere gathering, it would be a spectacle. Think gladiatorial arena, but with more shouting and significantly less lion mauling. The judging panel, a formidable assembly of community elders, perhaps even a few local celebrities. Imagine Sheikh Abdullah trying to discern the nuances of a perfectly pitched shriek. Judging criteria would be meticulously scientific. Decibel levels, of course, measured with state-of-the-art sound meters. But it's not just about volume, it's about performance. Did that yell convey genuine passion? Was that laughter truly infectious, or just a desperate attempt at points? The judges would be looking for artistry in the uproar. And the categories would be legendary. We'd have Loudest Individual, where one brave soul unleashes their inner banshee. Then, the Loudest Group Yell, a synchronized symphony of family vocal cords. Imagine the coordination required for that. Most enthusiastic laughter would reward those who can turn a chuckle into a seismic event. Bonus points for sustained, uncontrollable guffaws. And finally, most dramatic storytelling. Not just the story itself, but the volume, the gestures, the sheer vocal force used to convey every single detail. Now, you might think this is all just noise and nonsense, but hold on, there are multifaceted societal impacts to consider. Positive ones, even. For starters, it would foster an incredible sense of community. Families would bond over shared vocal exercises and strategic shouting sessions. It encourages playful rivalry, turning neighbor against neighbor in the most good-natured, ear-splitting way possible. Who knew competitive yelling could be so unifying? It's an unparalleled opportunity for families to showcase their unity and exuberance. Nothing says we're a team like a perfectly harmonized, deafening roar. And the children would finally have freedom for vocal expression. No more seen, not heard. Now it's heard and then heard some more. This could even become a source of national pride. Imagine the headlines. Saudi Arabia, home of the world's loudest families. We could have regional competitions with families vying for the coveted title of Loudest in the Kingdom. The stakes would be incredibly high, and the earplugs even higher. Think of the tourism. People flocking from around the globe to witness the sheer vocal power of Saudi families. It's a cultural phenomenon waiting to happen. It would redefine family gatherings. No more awkward silences, only glorious competitive clamor. Every family dinner becomes a training session. The quietest family would become the underdog story, training in secret, honing their vocal cords for next year's grand competition. It's a chance for everyone to let loose, to express themselves without reservation, a therapeutic release of pent-up vocal energy. Of course, where there's a grand idea, there's also potential for absolute chaos. This competition could create some serious tension. It might clash spectacularly with traditional values. Modesty, respect for elders, those concepts might get a little lost in the sonic boom. There would be immense social pressure to participate. Imagine being the quiet family in a kingdom of competitive shouters. The shame. This could lead to feelings of inadequacy or social exclusion for those who simply can't muster the decibels. Not everyone is built for competitive yelling. And let's not forget the disruption of peace and quiet in residential areas. Sleep? What's sleep when your neighbors are practicing their group yell at 3 a.m.? Complaints and conflicts due to noise would skyrocket. Neighborhood watch committees would transform into noise enforcement squads, armed with decibel meters and stern glares. The competition could also highlight existing social inequalities. Wealthier families might have access to better vocal coaches, sound amplifying equipment, or even private soundproofed practice rooms. This would create an unfair advantage, turning a fun family event into a battle of budgets. The loudest family might just be the richest family. It could overshadow other beautiful cultural expressions. Who needs poetry or music when you can have a perfectly executed, ear-splitting family scream? The significance of other cultural forms like storytelling or traditional dance might diminish. Why whisper a tale when you can bellow it for points? Imagine the family arguments. Why aren't you yelling louder, Uncle Fahad? We're losing points. The dinner table would become a battleground. The sheer volume could lead to actual hearing damage. We'd need a national earplug distribution program, perhaps sponsored by the loudest family themselves. It might turn every social interaction into a competition. A simple greeting becomes a test of vocal dominance. Good morning. Good morning to you too. The quiet, contemplative members of society might find themselves utterly overwhelmed, seeking refuge in soundproofed bunkers. So how do we navigate this potential auditory apocalypse? Successful execution depends entirely on careful planning. We need careful consideration of the rules. Are there limits to how loud one can be? Is there a too loud category that results in disqualification? The judging criteria must be crystal clear. No ambiguity when it comes to the art of the perfect bellow. Transparency is key, even in a hurricane of sound. The overall event tone needs to be managed delicately. It's a celebration, not an excuse for a national shouting match. Mostly, there's a delicate balance required, celebrating exuberance while still respecting cultural values. It's a tightrope walk over a chasm of noise. This whole scenario is a fascinating experiment in cultural adaptation. Can a society embrace competitive loudness without losing its soul? It's a reflection of the ever-evolving nature of social norms. What was once considered impolite could become the pinnacle of family achievement. Perhaps there's a maximum decibel limit, a red zone, where families are penalized for causing structural damage to the venue. Safety first, even in competitive yelling. Maybe a quiet room for judges to recover between rounds, or for families who've been eliminated and just need a moment of blessed silence. The prizes could be soundproofed homes for the winners, or perhaps a lifetime supply of throat lozenges. Practical, yet humorous. Ultimately, it's about finding the sweet spot between absolute pandemonium and structured competitive fun. A very, very loud sweet spot. It's a bold new world where the family that screams together stays together, or at least wins together.